Good evening all and welcome to another video on All Hail the Ale. It's Saturday night and it's starting to get a little bit autumnal, and with autumn you get a little bit of crappy weather, some of which comes from the sky, some of it is a little bit foggy. There's a really poor setup for the beer in question, which is this one from Burnt Mill. It is Aerial Fog. And it's an IPA that weighs in at 6.0%, and it can, what does it tell us about the beer on the can? Super pale, torrefied wheat and maize make up the grist, well pulled with Ella and Citra, and then dry hop with Enigma, Ella, Mosaic and Simcoe for overripe tropical aromatics. And I like the sound of that because I love Enigma as a hop. In fact, it was Burnt Mill who did a beer that last year? Enigmatic Galaxies. It was just incredible, and I love Mosaics. It brings a nice little dank edge to things, and Simcoe is just classic. And I'm not overly familiar with Ella. Citra I know very well, as I'm sure many of us do. So it's a 440ml can. You've got to drink it fresh. The BBE on this one is January 2020, and I paid a grand sum of £5.75 for this, which I think for a Burnt Mill beer. Now I know Burnt Mill quality is great, so £5.75 represents incredible value for money, and that's without even tasting the beer. So with that in mind, let's taste the beer. So Aerial Fog. I do like the grey, the monochrome artwork on this one. I'm a big fan of moody artwork. So we're going to pour into the glass, and I expect it to be pale. It is very pale actually, ridiculously so. A little bit of haze. Let's see what we've got. Anything worth getting off the bottom? Possibly. There we are. We have a very pale, slightly murky IPA with a good couple of fingers of blancmange-like head. It looks good. It really does. Let's have a whiff. Ooh. Oodles of mango. Nectarine, lots of stone fruit, little bit of pineapple, little bit of citrus, but dominated by those stone fruits there. It smells great. Let's have a little taste. Nice. Very low bitterness, nice sweet fruit flavours, little bit of hop coming through, and the tiniest indication it's alcoholic. It is really juicy, but not in a thick way. The body is light, the flavours are fresh, chewy stone fruit. Not a huge amount of hop hit. It's actually quite light, and the finish is where any of the bitterness lives. There's not a lot, but it's all in the finish. It's quite pleasant, sweet on the taste, bitter on the finish, light in body, very refreshing. And what can I say? Well, I like it. I do. Let's top her off. Waste not, want not. It is. It's a summery beer, without a shadow of a doubt. It could do with a bit more body, if I'm honest. But it's very tasty. I just think it deserves a little bit more body just to back up those really nice flavours. I mean, if you had that sort of extra wheats and oats in the grist, just to give it that oomph, it would make it feel like you're drinking a fruit smoothie. The flavours are lovely. So, Burnt Mill Aerial Fog IPA. What do I think of you? Would I buy you again? Well, you're £5.75 and you're tasty. I would buy you again. Would I rush out and buy you again? Almost. I do wish it had more hop, and I do wish it was a bit more bitter, which is something I expect from an IPA, but not always gets delivered. And this is one of those where it's kind of, excuse me, a little bit more restrained. And in some senses it's better for that, because it's nice to have something that's an alternative to your big hitting IPAs. So I'm not discrediting it for that, it's just a different option for me when I go and buy another beer. Something a little bit lighter on the palate, and certainly on the ABV front, because I've got another burnt mill sitting in the fridge that's 10.5%. So I'm starting the night out softly with this one, and it is soft like fog. Yeah, so whilst I wouldn't rush out and buy it again, I would definitely buy it again as a lighter option for an evening. And on that note, I'm going to give Aerial Fog 3 3/4 out of 5 on the Untapped score sheet, which I think is pretty decent for a lightly hopped, sensibly ABV'd IPA. And as always, it's got great flavour from burnt mill, so yeah, give it a try if you haven't already. And yeah, I will see you soon in another video. This has been Beer, I've been Nick. Bye.